The Alpha Sessions with Ron Laver.
A welcome return to Laura Beckwith, who joins us today. Laura, we last spoke to you in August 2020, when your first single, Not in Love, was coming out. So it's and I think that was sort of like in the period between lockdown 1 and lockdown 2, wasn't it?
As I haven't actually performed that single yet live. I haven't actually had a chance to yet, so that's crazy.
So this is like a bit of a deja vu for you, isn't it? You know, we're just coming out of lockdown 2, so
hoping no more lockdowns. Yeah, definitely.
So you haven't done any live performances at all yet, then?
Well, I've definitely in the past.
Yeah. But since lockdown, you're still okay. But you've done plenty of live streams, haven't you? While you've been in lockdown, and as you say, you've performed live before, so you'll be looking forward to getting back to it, I imagine.
Definitely, I can't wait. Yeah, it's been a bit weird adapting to the virtual live streams, but I can't wait. Honestly, can't wait.
One of the things I wanted to talk to you about was I know you did musical theatre, didn't you? And you studied it. You got a Bronze RADA award, and you were in the Sylvia Young Theatre School, and you went all through that, and you took up singing. Did you decide that the musical theatre wasn't what you wanted to pursue?
This is a really, really good question. To be honest, I did. So I started theatre school when I was 3, and I literally immersed myself in, you name it, anything. Did all the RADA, did all the Sylvia Young, went to everything, you name it. And I always did singing on the side, so it's not abnormal to me. I've always done singing. And then I did a 2-year intensive course in musical theatre, and it was intensive, and I saw every aspect of musical theatre, the actual career, as in, I think when you're training in musical theatre or acting, you look at it in the peak and you don't realise what you've actually got to do to get there, and that scared me. I was like, you have to perform on stage every single day, you have to sing the same songs. The ugly parts I didn't think I looked at, and I just made me realise how much I didn't actually want to do it. And so I always had music on the side, and I think I kind of always knew that music was my strength, and I just dived into my music.
I guess when you're training in that, going through that period, you do performances, but then you probably do them for 1 or 2 nights, a run of a week maybe if you're working in Am-Dram. But yeah, I can imagine, okay, you're going into whatever for the next 6 months.
Well, you saying that makes me feel sick. I'm like, Yeah, you don't realise that I didn't either. I was just focusing on the glory of it and not actually the ugly parts are actually quite ugly. So it's obviously each their own, but for me that was like, nah, I'm not feeling it anymore.
Well, I think that's probably like anything that seems glamorous to those that aren't into it. There's usually some sort of hard work and not very nice stuff, and I guess it's still the same with the career you're in now. There'll be bits of it that you won't enjoy, that you wish you didn't have to do, but obviously, so how long ago did you actually start singing?
I've been as soon as I've done theatre school. With the thing with theatre school is that you practice each singing, dancing and acting separately, so you're always practicing the craft individually, and then you bring it all together. So I was constantly practicing singing. Like, I learned to play piano when I was like 7, like first lesson, or 6 or 7 maybe, and just I've always had it on the side, and I never just put too much emphasis on it, but obviously now I am.
So in that respect, those years of training weren't wasted because you were honing your singing craft. So why country music? Which I'm sure a lot of people ask you.
A lot, yes. I mean, I think I think I can tell you like, oh, I listened to it as a kid, and I think a lot of people listen to it in some parts. But the real reason, to be honest, is that I went to a trip to Nashville, and that alone did it. But pretty much the trip to Nashville was just crazy. It was so good, honestly. I think I said this in my last interview with you guys, but I can't say enough how amazing that place is. And I think I really appreciated the songwriting aspect, and I came back, listened to so much country music, and I just kind of wanted to create something like that, and just kind of went from there. And I mean, I always have pop in my music. I think I can't ever let pop go because I've just grown up on it so much more than country. But I definitely want to infuse more country now into my music.
Yeah, Nashville is. I've been, and yeah,
great.
it's down on Broadway, where just every sort of premises is a bar with music.
Every bar, yeah. There's not a bar missing without music.
No, absolutely. And so was that just a holiday then, or were you working at all? Did you get?
I wish I was. I wish I was more strategic, but I coerced my dad. He was doing a work trip in Cleveland, and we had to do a stopover. And I was like, we have to go to Nashville. And I was like begging him. And he was like, oh, I hate it. I won't like it. And we went. We managed to get him to go there, and he absolutely loved it. And that's surprising for me, because my dad is normally quite hard to please. So he was like, it was actually a good place. So yeah, I managed to coerce him to go there. So that's how.
How long did you have there?
Not many days, like 4 or 5 maybe. There's not many days. I wish it was longer, but still.
Did you get to the Bluebird?
No, I wish I did. Okay, the interesting story. There was an event going on the night that we got there, and I literally sat there as soon as we landed for like 6 hours or something. Must be even more than that, waiting for the tickets, and they were all sold out. Literally as soon as it was released, it was sold out. And so I think it's one of those things that it's really hard to get for tickets.
So who are your sort of musical heroes certainly in country, but just, when you were growing up, who are the people you listened to?
So a lot of the artists that I listen to are the ones that are strong in their songwriting. And as of right now, there's I said this the other day, but there's an artist called Julia Michaels who's just released an album, and some of the songs on the track are just like absolutely incredible. And I've never really listened to her music before, but this album is, the way the songs are written, it's just perfect representation of what I kind of aspire to create music like. It's very poppy in some areas, but the songwriting doesn't stray from a story. And so that kind of, but growing up, I mean, I listened to so many artists, like a lot of heavy influence. I hate to say it because everyone says him, but Ed Sheeran was a massive influence.
Yeah.
It's just his songwriting. Again, like his is very story-like. But yeah, honestly, I can't. There's so many artists that I listen to. There's no end to it, really.
And it's interesting, country music now, if you listen to the current stuff that's in the charts from the States, a lot of it is pop orientated, isn't it? It's there's a lot of sort of rapping and that sort of rhythm to it. And so I was, and I guess they've always talked about crossover hits. When I was young, Dolly Parton was always having crossover hits. Where it's sort of moved into the pop music of the day. And it's still happening today. And I think that's quite healthy for the British market, because, like you say, people like yourself, you don't grow up with country music in this, unless you've got parents that are heavily into it. You don't tend to grow up with that. You grow up with whatever the pop culture is for your age, and I think it's quite good now that you can move that quite easily into country music, which is what you do.
Yeah, and I think what you were saying about the charts at the moment, the country, I think the biggest thing is that it's staying current. And as much as country is authentically very just a guitar and lyrics, but it's hard to stay current if you keep in that same rigid. Yeah. So I think there's also pros and cons to bringing on that pop element, but the good side is that it's staying current and it's modern and it's still likable to a large audience. So.
Yeah, and I think while it's current, as you say, it's going to appeal to a bigger audience. So, people then get into it and then start looking deeper and looking at the roots of country and Americana and things like that. So I mean, on the whole, I think it's quite healthy. Now, you're going to play some music for us, aren't you? This first one, Just Go With It. And this is a track you've written?
Yeah, this is a song I wrote with Liv Austin, a friend of mine. And it was only a few weeks ago. And it was just kind of, the song's about, you know how that old saying where you feel like you're wasting your life. But in actual fact, you can't really waste your life if you're still living every single day. Because you're still doing something at the end of the day. So the whole song is kind of revolving around that. And I don't know, I wrote this song a few weeks ago, and then I performed it live to a few of my mates, and I recorded it, and I was like, I really like this song. So maybe in the future, hopefully I get to record it and release it. So yeah.
Because is this an exclusive for us? Because I haven't seen it anywhere on your social.
No, you've got an exclusive. You're the first people to see it.
Great, that's what we like.
Running around, don't want to accept the time is passing. Losing myself in this search for perfection. Pacing the house, wondering what everyone else is doing. Maybe they're all just as afraid as me. What would happen if I just silenced it? The voice that tells me I am not enough. There's no such thing as wasting your life if you're listening to your heart and mind. Life is gonna move on no matter what, so enjoy the ride. Just go with it. Just go with it. What will be left without my self-created problems? Most of the time I forget to look at myself. It's easier to pass all the blame of what went wrong onto others, and maybe the power lies within me. What would happen if I just silenced it? The voice that tells me I'm not enough. There's no such thing as wasting your life if you're listening to your heart and mind. Life is gonna move on no matter what, so enjoy the ride. Just go with it. Just go with it. Just go with the flow. You don't have to know it all. Let the pressure go. Don't matter if you fall. Just go with the flow. You don't have to know it all. There's no such thing as wasting your life if you're listening to your heart and mind. Life is gonna move on no matter what, so enjoy the ride. Just go with it. Just go with it. Just go with it.
The Alpha Sessions with Ron Laver.
I also noticed that you in 2019, I guess it was part of your Nashville trip, you played at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Ohio.
Yeah, in Cleveland.
How did that happen?
I don't even know. There was so the rock and I don't know if you've ever. Not many people go to Cleveland, I don't think. But
I mean, I think there's Rock and Roll Halls of Fame all over the States. I have been to one, but not in Cleveland, no.
Huge. Like the place was like 4 or 5 floors, and there was a music section where you can go and play the guitars and the pianos, and there was like a drum kit set up, and everyone was playing. And I don't know how it happened. It was just like we started talking, and then we started playing, and then everyone came over, and it was just this bit of a weird moment. But yeah, it was awesome.
Oh, so you have played the States, haven't you? That's
yeah, you can try and class that. Yeah, I'll say
and there's a YouTube video of that, isn't there?
Yeah, I have put that around some places on my socials.
Yeah. You've got a new single coming out on the 4th
June. Yeah.
4th of June. I'm just trying to think where we are. It's hard to follow the days, isn't it, when you don't do anything? Well, that's just about a week away or so, isn't it?
Yeah.
From where we're talking now. How have you? I mean, obviously you wrote that in lockdown.
It was in lockdown. I was just trying to remember then. Was it in the break?
Was it recorded in lockdown, or were we out of it then?
So I was actually in a studio session with a couple of my mates, and we were just messing around writing this song, and we came up with a song, and I recorded a demo of it that day in the studio, and I played it to my friends and my family. And normally they're like, yeah, your songs are good. And then I played this track, and they're like, oh my God, I really love this song. Like, you need to release it. And I just got a really good vibe from everyone I played it to, and I decided to release it. So yeah.
So you wrote that with other people.
Yeah.
Do you do a lot of co-writing, or do you generally write on your own?
More recently over lockdown, I've completely just dived into co-writing. More to the point, because you can pick any country you want, and you can write with people wherever. So it's been that awesome aspect is awesome. So more recently, definitely, it's just been awesome to write with people wherever.
And is that difficult to do it remotely with each other, when, as particularly if it's someone you don't know? I mean, have you done that? Have you written with people that the first time you've met them is over a Zoom link or whatever? About 90% of the people that I've done writes with have been over Zoom, and the first time. And it's been like, I had a write the other day with someone in Nashville, and it was all weird because you had to pick the time zones and stuff. Yeah. But no, I'm quite easygoing when writing songs, so it's quite nice to just bond with someone, and you just start with a concept and you take the song somewhere. And do you prefer co-writing or?
It varies, to be honest. It depends, because sometimes when you're writing on your own and you've got a good idea as to what you want the song to sound like, it's quite easier to get it done. But sometimes when you're a bit stuck on ideas or what to say, then it's quite nice to have other people around. And are you one of those writers who put yourself into your songs? Has a lot of you in there, does it? Yeah, sorry to the people that are mentioned in the songs. And
So you co-wrote Lights Low. Tell me what it's about then. What's the premise there?
So this upcoming single, Lights Low, is basically just about not sleeping, and it's as simple as that. It's those awful nights where you lay in bed and you literally are just wide awake, and there's nothing you can do that will get you to sleep. So it's as simple as that, the song, really.
Sitting in the dark, chasing shadows. My thoughts are miles away, I worry about tomorrow. Staring at my ceiling, talking about my problems. But just like my friends, they never answer. Turning the lights down low, I can't seem to let this go. Someone switch me off, break me till I can rest again. Turning the lights down low, I can't seem to let this go. Someone switch me off, break me till I can rest again.
My body told me I ain't resting tonight, cause there's a force in my head I gotta fight. It's a little jarring, know in the morning I'm gonna be yawning. My bags under my eyes, they telling stories. Me screaming 5 more minutes, I ain't deep yet. I can't live a dream if I'm hardly ever in it. Don't wanna be all stuck up in the sea with no digits. But my pattern gonna pattern and waking up in the evening.
I've tried everything, I'm crying helpless. Dumb account in shape, I'm drained for being restless. Someone let me out, this is torture. Days are never ending, time has no structure. Turning the lights down low, I can't seem to let this go. Someone switch me off, break me till I can rest again. Turning the lights down low, I can't seem to let this go. Someone switch me off, break me till I can rest again.
Turning the lights down low, but I can't rest my eyes no more. Phone keeps pinging off, and I don't wanna check my text again. Don't check my text.
4 hours until my alarm goes off. I am so tired, can't take anymore. Turning the lights down low, I can't seem to let this go. Someone switch me off, break me till I can rest again. Turning the lights down low, I can't seem to let this go. Someone switch me off, break me till I can rest again. Turning the lights down low, I can't seem to let this go. Someone switch me off, break me till I can rest again.
The Alpha Sessions with Ron Laver.
Can I ask you what's on your playlist at the moment that you listen to at home in the car?
My playlist at the moment is a mixture of sad and happy songs. I go through waves. Sometimes I'm feeling happy, sometimes sad. At the moment, I am listening to a song by Miley Cyrus, who she's just released an album, and it's called High. And honestly, you need to go and listen to it. It's such a good track. And normally I'm a huge fan of Miley Cyrus, but some of her stuff on this album is just outstanding. So that's definitely a one on my playlist. Others, again, as I said earlier, Julie Michaels, definitely on my playlist. And there's actually an upcoming artist called, I don't know how you say her name, Elena, I think. And some of her songs are super sad, but they're absolutely awesome. They're so good.
And I mean, you said before that you have your inspirations and your music comes from both pop and country genres, and you do a lot of covers. You know, certainly you've been doing a lot of covers online during lockdown, and they're a real mix. And I mean, one of my favourites after the gold rush. Neil Young, and because I mean I'm old enough to have bought the album when it came out. And,
You still got the album?
yeah. In fact, we used to have two because I met my wife about that time, and you know we combined our musical, and surprisingly we both had that same album. There were one or two others as well, probably something like stuff that was popular then, stuff like Simon and Garfunkel. But yeah, fantastic album, fantastic song, and I really enjoyed your version of that. And as you say, I mean, Miley Cyrus, you've done that as well.
You never really know what's going to come, really. I don't half the time, to be honest. When I sit down and I think of a song to cover, or I don't really think about it. So it must be on my Instagram a bit like what's going to be next, whether it's going to be, you literally never know. There's so many different styles on my Instagram page. Yeah.
So what's next for you? You've got this single coming out. Is there anything else to follow that? Like, I mean, is it going to be part of an album or an EP?
Definitely EP is in talk, so I'm not saying anything yet, but like there's definitely talk about that. And more to the point, what's coming up is a lot of live shows, because I just can't wait to perform all these songs live. So I've got one coming up in next week, the 5th of June. I'm going to be performing in the Underbelly Hoxton in London with my band. So that is just my main priority at the moment, is just to perform live and just trying to get these songs out. And obviously more music. I've got so much more music coming. I'm so excited for this year.
Yeah, I think a lot of artists have spent a lot of time writing this last sort of 18 months or so, and have got a lot to bring out. So you have your own band?
My band. There's 4 of us. So.
And have you been able to work with them during lockdown?
Apart from rehearsing and just rehearsing at the moment, we haven't actually had the chance to perform yet. So we've rehearsed loads. Just we're dying to get out and perform.
Yeah, has that all been online rehearsals?
No, just in studio. So
right.
we've got a studio in London.
Yeah, so they're going to remember all your songs, are they? I mean, there's going to be a problem that they get there and go, I can't remember it.
Don't say that. No. So we should be good.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. We've got one more track that you're going to do for us, and it was your last single, which was I think very, very well received, and we've played it here a lot, called Halfway. Tell me, how did that come about, that single?
So the song is actually about an argument that had happened between me and my family. And I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where you have an argument and you have your average arguments, but then you have an argument that is very big and it goes on for hours and it doesn't really end. And you kind of think, how bad is this going to get? And that's kind of where the song came from. It's just about how do you resolve an argument? Like, where do you go from there? And it's about meeting in the middle and just trying to tame the fire, kind of thing.
Yeah. I've never had. Did you say it was a family argument?
Yeah, there are many of those.
Family argument. I've had plenty of arguments with people that go on, and each time you see them, go, I still think that you're,
Yeah. No. It's all good now. So that's the main.
Yeah. So for the, you hoping, we're all hoping that this is the end of lockdowns and things, and that everything goes back to normal. So your ambitions for this next year are to just get out there and play.
The aim. That's the main goal.
Yeah.
And it's in time for summer, so hopefully some festivals are going to be on. And just try and get back to some normality.
Yeah.
That's the main goal for me.
Okay, well, look, it's been really nice talking to you. And we had a little bit of trouble catching up with each other, but are you being attacked there by a...
There's a little fly in the way.
Yeah, it's been really nice catching up with you. And thank you for, supplying the music. And it's really kind of you. And we'll, where are you based, Laura?
Essex.
In Essex.
Yeah.
Well, we're just across the border in sort of Hertfordshire, Middlesex way, just in outer London. So maybe sometime before too long, maybe when your album comes out or your next single, we can get you into the studio and do a live session, a real live session.
Yes, that would be brilliant. I'd absolutely love that. That'd be awesome.
Okay. Well, take care and thanks very much for today.
Thank you for having me. I'll speak to you later.
Bye now.
1, 2, 3, 4. Slamming tables, voices raised. I am glaring at your face. Back and forth and round again. We've been here so many times now. This time I think that we have crossed the line. Don't know if we'll go back to being fine. Apologize, would that make it alright? If I say that I'm sorry, would you still be angry? Don't wanna be burning, no. Yeah, I thought we were worth it, so meet me halfway. Getting tired of Won't you tell me when this will all stop? We're speaking through our anger. And this time I think that we have crossed the line. Don't know if we'll go back to being